All right, awesome. So good morning, guys. How are you today?
We're good.
Good.
Not too
Awesome.
bad.
So why don't we start by going over how last week went, and then we can talk a little bit about what we want to work on for planning for this coming week.
Sure. Presentations.
Yep.
They went pretty well, and we, of course, had some students who did a lot more than others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had one boy who
Just didn't.
didn't do anything, a couple that didn't, but especially one that I don't know what his deal was. We need to ask him again and pursue that because
Okay.
he was ready to take the zero. He's given presentations before, so I don't know. I said, "Are you just having a bad day?" And he said, "Yes."
It seemed like to have everything ready too.
Yes.
It just one
Oh.
thing didn't work right, and it threw his whole.
Just threw him off. So
Threw him
I don't know
off.
what his deal is, but
Is this
So
one
we're
of your
gonna-
students? Is it one of your students with disabilities?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
and we offered, that he could present after school in front of just one of us or both of us. And so
We'll pursue it again.
we'll pursue it again.
Yeah.
And I think what we could do is I'll tell him what his grade is with a zero and what his grade would be with some points, and maybe
Yeah.
that would do it too.
Yeah,
Oh.
that might
Because
help.
I think he wants good grades.
Oh yeah. I think he wants good grades.
Mhm.
He's just a very shy kid too, so
Mhm.
I think that had something to do with it.
So, but otherwise, it went pretty well,
I thought
and
they were for the most part, they went really well.
and their audience behavior was really good. So, and
Good.
yeah,
Good.
well, so that worked
Yeah.
well. And so this week we're working on we're watching the movie, the documentary, The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, and so we're using Today's Meet, and so they're taking notes for their paper. And what I noticed yesterday is it took me till 7th hour to realize I need to write notes too, so they can see how to do it, because you can tell them, but until they see it, they just don't get it. Because we kept saying you have to put down who said it, because later on these are your notes for the paper. So
That seemed to be a biggie, and then opinions. They just wanted to put down their
Mm-hmm.
like a comment section on YouTube or something where they just put down what they're thinking at the time, not
right.
what's happening
Right.
really in the video.
Do you think they might be able to do maybe like a 2-column note where on one side you have what they actually said, and then they could do their opinion on the other side?
I don't know on Today's Meet if there is, because it's through the computer, and
We would have to open up 2 different windows.
Yeah.
To do
Yeah, that
that.
would
they
get
could, or
Yeah.
they'd have to have paper out.
Yeah.
Which I'm not opposed to that, but and I said some opinions fine, certainly.
Yeah. Some opinions all right. It was just like he's ugly or something.
Yeah,
Just stuff like that.
Well, I don't think you're going to get a whole paper on that, so good luck.
You don't want an entire paper on how the people look? I mean, come on.
No. So anyway, so I worked on the question that we'll be asking, and so I can get that and tell you just a second.
So I think I have it still.
Okay.
I thought it was. I
You
like
can read it real quick. Yeah. So we worked on that last night, and I had it, and then I had my husband look at it. And,
The central characters in this documentary, The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, are motivated by the desire to be the best in the classic arcade video game world. What personal qualities do they possess that enable them to compete at the highest level? To what extent might these same qualities be considered character flaws or shortcomings? What lessons can we learn from their examples?
Okay. And are you going to go over the question with them before, or some of the students before, or are they all going to get the question right at the beginning of watching the movie?
Well, no, we started the movie, and I think I'm going to give them the question today, so they'll have a handout. Because until they get into the movie a little bit, I just thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a different type of movie.
It's a different kind.
It's a really good movie, but it's a documentary that I'm not sure a lot of them have actually seen. Kind of follows the characters as he goes through this. So yeah, I agree that you kind of got to get into it before you can really
That
think,
makes
oh,
sense.
what.
So, and they know, and we've told them, what they're looking for, and so you're going to pick a character, but you don't really even know until you watch them.
Watch
So,
part of the movie.
and then we'll use the Paltree organizer to take those notes from Today's Meet, and then go ahead and put it in the graphic
Yeah.
organizer for them, and then work on pieces. So the writing process will take a couple weeks, easy.
Yeah.
So, because we're gonna And then we're going to go through, and I want them to do most of the edit. And we'll edit, but they're going to fix
Pure
it
edit,
because I
and-
don't want, you're going to fix it over and over
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll get
until
used,
it's pretty good.
yeah,
And then we'll-
get used to that process. 'Cause
Mhm.
a lot of them think, I wrote it down, I'm done. I shouldn't have to go back and fix my mistakes.
Right.
That's our job, but
And then half the time when you grade, they don't go back and look at it anyway. So until it's basically going to be one of those, until you fix it, you won't get a grade. Yeah, you won't earn a
And
grade. So.
Will they be able to continue fixing it until they kind of get it to a point where you feel it's acceptable?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because what they do is they have to turn in the old copy with a new copy, or I won't accept it because I'm not going to start from scratch each time.
Okay.
So they do have to keep that, and we have to
just
have a
kind
new.
of build.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I do that for my journalism class too, and it works pretty well. So.
Excellent. TJ, with the question that you guys are using, are any of your students with disabilities going to need that question broken down at all, or are they going to be able to kind of go with what you guys already have?
I'll have to explain some of the terminology, some of the vocab. I think the actual characteristics, I think that's something they can really pull.
Mhm.
Don't have those social cues. They're pretty good at social cues, so
Okay.
they're good at picking up characteristics. Now there's some other kids I know I have throughout the day who would need a little more
They
prompting.
need more, yeah.
But I think in this class with these students, I think we're pretty good with finding characteristics of people.
And what about your English learner student? How are they going to be able to do with that?
This is interesting.
He's out right now. He had some surgery, dental surgery, and so he's missed the movie. So we're going to give him an alternate assignment,
Okay.
and because the students are also going to watch a TED Talk that has to do with video games,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to base his on that because
Excellent.
it would just be too difficult.
Mhm.
And I can't give him the video to take home, and it's just going to be
Right.
too hard. And so,
Yeah.
and I have a couple other students who've missed too from other classes. They're going to be gone, so I'll just give them the alternate assignment.
And just recently, I don't know if we've met since we've made the change in his
Oh,
schedule, but I now have him for study hall first thing in the morning, our
Okay.
ELL student. So he gets more of that one-on-one assistance for when he does miss things like this, where I can help him
That's
get
excellent.
on the TED Talks.
And they were able to give him a 504 plan, so some
Yep.
extended time and some shortened assignments, and he needed that. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
so I
it
think
sounds
that's
like
helpful.
it, especially because it sounded like at the beginning of the year you guys didn't have a whole lot of support for him in the school.
Not
No.
really. I mean, we did, but then with cuts
Yeah.
and cutbacks and stuff like that,
And I think they were trying to figure out with him if there's something else going on too,
Yeah.
and
It's always support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
was-
that's a really difficult thing to figure out, whether it's the ELL issues or if it's actually a disability. So I'm glad to hear that they've given him some support and that he's working with you a little more often, TJ. That's going to be really helpful for him.
And it's just having in there that he can have a shortened assignment makes it better because it's then I can just take whatever he's done. Because I guess he was spending 5 or 6 hours
a night.
at
or
night on homework. That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really hard.
So,
And does he even have anybody at home to really help him with his homework?
He does actually. Mom and dad are both very supportive. They both are pretty fluent English. Dad more than mom, I think, but mom takes school very seriously. And it sounded to me like his old school was very strict, and so he still uses that very strict, rigorous material. To where if he screwed up, it was disciplined.
okay.
Where here, it's okay to make mistakes. We're going to fix them, but you can make those mistakes. So he's still kind of getting used to, what he's learned his whole life to coming over here.
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear that he's got some support now. I think that's probably going to help him out a lot in school. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys is, did you have a chance to look over the park accommodations? Was that helpful information?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, we both did. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought it was.
I thought it was helpful. We also had the park seminar that we
That
watched,
webinar thing. So
Yeah.
that we watched as well. So
There we go.
it's been all about park the last few weeks.
So I thought that was helpful.
Mhm.
Good.
So.
Well, seeing as you're doing this next step with on the computers for taking their notes and doing that, you may want to throw in some of those park accommodations into it. Would that be helpful so that the kids start learning how to do highlighting?
We should probably get
Yeah, we
some of
probably
those.
should. Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it might make sense, especially like with the question. Like if they can highlight part of the question, they can see, oh, that's how I that's how I use the highlighting feature. Because it's going to look a lot the same as just a basic computer program or like a Word, you know, Microsoft Word or something like that. That way, the students start getting used to it, so that when they go to Take Park in a little, you know, when are you guys taking it?
Into March,
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
right after our spring break.
after spring break, 20 something.
Yeah, the 27th, or I don't
somewhere in
something
there. Yeah.
So
like
this
the
is
20.
a good time. This is a good time to start using some of those accommodations in the classroom so that the kids are getting used to it. Okay, well, I want to be cognizant of your time. Are there any other questions you guys have for this week?
We're just doing the video.
Video,
And
and then we're gonna watch the TED Talk and
then start.
start writing. So
Okay.
I'm sure once we start writing, we will.
Yeah, once the writing process starts getting going, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Absolutely. So when do you want to meet again? Do you want to meet next week or do you want to do 2 weeks again?
What do you think?
I'm trying to kind of just look.
Let's see.
That'd be the 1st of March.
23rd or the March 3rd. March 3rd is ACT, so that would be bad because I have to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
So
go
maybe
next
next
week.
next week, and then we'll skip the 3rd because it's like I said, I have to we both
Yep.
we both have to proctor the ACT
Okay.
that day.
All right, great. So I'll make sure that Dr. Deeker knows that so that we plan to meet with you guys next Tuesday then.
Okay.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you so much. Okay.
Thanks so much. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.